welcome. I am Carol V. Brown Jones, and welcome to Gigi United by Love. Gigi stands for grandmothers and their girls, and that girl means their daughters, their daughter-in-laws, granddaughters. We're going to throw in the grandsons as well, and cousins, sisters, nieces, and your good friends too. This is for you. That means all women are welcome here. I focus on the grandmothers because grandmothers are special, right? Most of you agree with me. On this podcast, I will share wisdom from wise women, family groups coming together and getting to know each other better, closing the generation gap. Women and some men with some good business tips for us and things that we need to know about. Thank you for being here, and I hope that you will share this program with your friends and subscribe to the YouTube channel and to this podcast. I'm ready to start. Hello, I am Carol V. Brown Jones, and I am here to tell you about my new book, Get on Board, the New Underground Railroad. Harriet Tubman's spirit is guiding us to love in actions. I'm going to share with you some of the earth angels who are going to be with me on my book launch. Beautiful people who inspired me in different ways to write this book, which is a movement. So get on board and be a part of the change that needs to come in the world. Camille L. Miller dropped this truth bomb on me. The traits we admire in others already lives within us. She empowers people to see their own greatness by recognizing it is in others first. Come meet Camille and learn more on my book launch for Get on Board, the New Underground Railroad. Harriet Tubman's spirit is guiding us to love in actions. Camille is one of my earth angels. There are many more to come. Come meet Camille and all the earth angels. When you join us in the Zoom room, you will leave with a copy of my new book. If you aren't able to get in the Zoom room, we'll be on Facebook Live as well. But don't wait, sign up now, and we will see you on November 12th to get on board the new Underground Railroad. Today, I have another beautiful guest. She is a Camille L. Miller, MBA, PhD, ABD, and is a strategic advisor specializing in conscious reinventation for visionary leaders, professionals, and organizations in transition. As the founder of the global soul professional movement, Camille blends decades of business strategy with deep intuitive insight to guide purpose-driven individuals and mission-led teams through aligned, soul-centered transformation. With a background in psychology, nonprofit leadership, and strategic business design, she offers a rare mix of grounded expertise and spiritual clarity, helping her clients redefine success, realign with purpose, and create meaningful impact without burning out or starting over. Known for her powerful presence and ability to see what's next before others do, Camille supports meditation across life, leadership, and legacy, turning wisdom into wealth and vision into action. Let's welcome Camille L. Miller. And here is this beautiful lady, Camille L. Miller. Welcome. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. Carol, I'm excited to be here today.
Yes. Now, before we go further, I read that you have a PhD, but I don't know those letters A, B, D behind that. Explain that to us.
So it's all but dissertation. So it means I took all of the classwork and finished all the coursework for it, but I didn't defend my research, a dissertation. So you usually do a dissertation, which takes about 2 years after you finish all the classwork, and then you have a committee and you write and defend all of your research, which I did not do. And
Well,
about 50% of PhD candidates do not do it.
well, I can see why people deserve the title, doctor, once they completed that. That is
Yes.
quite a lot. What was your
Yes.
research on?
It was actually cellular change with thought. So I started it, so I didn't finish it. But most of my research was based in success. So I was really curious about what made people successful. And my actual dissertation was about the cellular change of your belief system as you believe in success.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty
Scientific,
cool. So
broad.
I studied, it was called natural health sciences, and I focused very specifically on mind body medicine.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And so now that has lead us into exactly what is so professional. That's
So professional is one of my trademarks. And we say it's someone who lives in a higher vibration, has an alternative approach to business, and is here to help repair the world.
I love
Um,
that. That's
yeah.
me. I'd
Yay!
like to work with you.
Yay! Yeah, so I find that there's so many people out there that are usually coming out of corporate jobs, we call it corporate to calling, or very structured jobs. And I feel many people my age and older, we were taught that success meant a lot of money, very strict rules, very structured. You work for a company your whole life. What we're finding now, especially since the pandemic, is people really want to make an impact. They want to leave their legacy. They're looking for something that makes their hearts sing, is what I say a lot, right? And what their purpose is. And they're not retiring. People my age aren't retiring anymore. We're really going more into purpose-driven work. So part of the Soul Professional and the movement we have going is a global call to these purpose-driven entrepreneurs that are usually just solo. They might have a VA or something, but they're building businesses of impact for social change, for the rise of good of humanity, right? We're saying those that are going to be good global citizens. So part of the soul professional movement is the call to bring them all together, to network, to make sure that they know each other. And my personal mission statement is to help other people bring their gifts to the world, because I think people have great ideas, they just don't know how to get them there, and they're taking very traditional work that people have always done, but they're putting their own unique spin on it,
I
right?
love
So,
that. I
yeah.
love that. And I guess you are talking to me. So yeah, we were brought together for a reason because I'm one of your clients. So you said there's a movement. Are you the person who started this movement or are you part of a bigger group of movement?
Yes, no, I pioneered the movement. The idea is when I started my company back in 2016, it's called the Natural Life Business Partnership. The movement was a part of it, but we didn't have a name for it, right? So I was thinking more of, wow, people like me that are both holistic but very logically brained, right? I'm very soul-led, but I'm very logically brained. When I went to business networking events, Chamber of Commerce or a BNI or whatever the big ones are, I felt it was like very masculine in energy, right? Not gender, but in energy. And it was very being sold to all the time. And that just wasn't who I was. And when I went to a holistic business networking, I felt it was way too woo-woo for my logical brain and where I am and the professional that I wanted to show up as. So when I couldn't find what I was looking for in the world, I brought it together and I created the Natural Life Business Partnership. And the dream and vision at that point was to have a national, now we're international, but at that point, it was just to have a national organization like the American Medical Association or the Bar Association that was a place that we as professionals can come together and build credibility around our work. Because I really believe that when a purpose-driven entrepreneurs like myself have credibility, when people say, yes, we're looking at you, you're a credible professional doing great work in the world, more people will come and do great work that's helping humanity. We started out as a little coffee club back in 2016. I'm from New Jersey, so it was like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and we started to spread and spread. And then at the end of 2017, I got a call from someone in California that said, I've been watching your work and I can't wait for you to come out here.
All
And
right.
it was, yeah. And it was in that moment that I knew I did not have a scalable model,
Mm-hmm.
but I had heard of this thing called Zoom. And I
Okay.
was like, what if we build a platform on Zoom and we don't have chapters and everyone can meet each other all over the country? And in 2018, we opened up that professional organization. It was membership based that we met on Zoom. We had coffee with Camille, just like I was doing around, but everyone met me through Zoom. So 2019, we went international. And then 2020, you might remember we had this global pandemic. And we didn't have to pivot or change our model or do anything. And we just built and built. And that's where when I trademarked the word soul professional, trying to find a word that meant both.
Yes.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that's how that all came together.
I love that story.
Thank
Yes, I
you.
love that because it is needed. And so I'm in the older group of women. Some of us, we have retired, but we still look for things to do. And I know there's a wealth of talent, a wealth of wisdom, a wealth of knowledge that can be passed down if these women were
Yes.
actually given the opportunity. And I was looking at one of your videos on dream stacking. I'm sure there are women who have dreams stacked up that they think will never happen. All right, tell
Yeah.
us about.
All of us do. And that it's a big mistake that so many of us make. Like all of us stack dreams, and stacking dreams means when I do this, then I'll do this. When I have money, then I'll begin to travel. When I have that book, I'll start speaking on stage. When I have, right? So it's always this has to happen for this have to happen. And like perfectionism is in there too, right? Instead of just making that vision part of our business plan or our dream. So if we don't hit over that first domino, we never realize all the rest of those dreams, right?
Right,
So we don't want to stack our dreams. So that's one of the things we look for. And I can give myself as an example. I've always wanted to travel, always wanted to travel, but I did not have the money to travel like I wanted to travel, nor did I have the time because I'm a single mom, right? Especially when my kids were young. Now they're all out of the house. But so I had to start small. It's not when my kids graduate college because I would have had to wait another decade, right? So first it was just, can I take a day trip somewhere, right?
mm,
And then do that once a month, right?
hmm
And then maybe it was, can I just get away for a weekend every other month, right? So it started to grow. Now I do international trips all the time. I travel. And it's a big part of who I am, but I had to build it slowly. It's just like if you want to run a marathon, first you got to buy the sneakers, right? But
hmm
a lot of times we get sucked up in the bigger vision, which without breaking it down into these really, really, really tiny baby steps. We say like, oh, I can't run a marathon, or I can't do international travel yet, or I can't. But as soon as I do this, then I'll do this, right? And that's how we start to stack our dreams, but we really water down our own potential by doing it.
Right. And I've learned that it's all about your paradigm. What you think you can do it. And the way that you don't have to know how you're going to do it, just know this is what I'm going to do one day and
Yes,
hold that on. And then you find those little baby steps that lead you to where you want to go. That's beautiful. Thank
absolutely.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
right. What else you want us to know about what you do?
I was going to say part of that is saying like I am doing this now. It's not
Okay.
will, it's not even in the future. It's I
Okay.
am doing it now.
You're right. Yeah. Right. This is present. Live in the present.
Living in the present. And you want your body to know that you're doing it in the present tense.
You're right. So I am now enjoying the idea of seeing beautiful scenery around the world as I can visualize it and I can see it on the internet. I mean, I can see what it looks like. I can feel the joy that comes with it right now.
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Yep.
saying? Something like that?
Yeah. So something like people that want to speak on stage. I know this is one of the things you want to do too. Like I want to be a speaker, right? So first, um, you're not looking for those $10,000 paydays, right? First, you got to say, yeah, but first it's maybe I get on a few podcast interviews, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're telling yourself, I am a speaker,
Mm-hmm.
doing it on a small stage, but you are a speaker in that moment,
Right.
right? So then maybe it's a bigger stage or maybe it's a bigger, right? You progress because you get better, and all of us do, right? We progress slowly, little by little. I remember when I first started writing books, I kept saying, I'm not a writer. I'm not a writer. And then after my second book, my publisher was like, Camille, you are a writer. You got to stop saying you have two books out. You
Right.
are a writer. And when you start believing you're a writer, that's when you're going to start even writing more. And that little change of saying, I am a writer, right? I'm an author
Mm-hmm.
changed my mindset. So, the third book, and now I'm working on a fourth, that it's just so much easier.
Right, right. The mindset. And
Yeah.
that's what you were studying, how our positive mindset actually does make a change in our body.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely changes it, even down to the cellular level. It
that's
changes
amazing.
us. Yeah.
That that's exciting to think
Yeah.
about it. Public
But
speaking, I would say also start with something like Toastmasters. That's where I really got my training for speaking and developing the techniques, the skills that makes a
lovely.
professional person stand out
Absolutely.
and
I started
investing,
there too.
right, investing in yourselves. Like you're familiar with Lisa Nichols. I've
Yep.
gone through her transformational training program so I can learn from the best, some of the best out there. So that is how you live where you want to be right now.
Yes.
That experience. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. Because
great,
we
great.
are always becoming our future selves, always. But we
Always.
have to act as we're already there.
Yes.
Right. I always say, would my future self make this decision? Like if I
Hmm.
had all the money and all the abundance, would I be making this decision on whatever it is I'm making?
That's a good way to look at it. And I don't remember, I watch these different podcasts all the time, different programs. There's no past, futures, only now. And this person was teaching that, and I can visualize my future self is actually leaving breadcrumbs for me to get to where
Mm,
I want to be. I'm already there. I'm already in that because I believe that we're born with everything we need to be who we came to be. We just
agreed.
have to get to that level of vibration or energy to be that person. So I feel like I try to keep in mind, I know where my future self is, and I'm being led by that me to
Yeah.
that way. So these little things, talking to you is part of
Yeah.
it, learning that you can help me do what I want to do. And those things are just, I see them as breadcrumbs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really building confidence.
Yeah,
The secret to success is actually confidence
right,
because
right.
once you believe it, other people naturally believe it.
How do we help people build confidence?
Well, one of it is believing in yourself, right? So it's changing over to the I am, right? I am abundant, I am worthy, I am deserving, right? All of that. Because when you believe it, other people naturally believe it because your vibration rises, right? So people are connected to our energy at all times. Everybody is connected to energy,
Yes.
right? So we seek out people with like minded energies,
Yes.
right? So
We
when we're
draw them to
staying,
us.
yeah,
Yeah, we're
and that's
drawn
how we
to them.
rise,
And
right? And that's why many times as we start to rise, we lose the friends or lose family or lose the people that weren't with us. Or as we rise, we lose people around us because we need to surround ourselves with that newer vibration,
mm-hmm.
right? So as we're going up, we lose people along the way, and that's completely normal. I always say like social media kind of ruined that for us because we're staying in touch with people that we shouldn't be,
That's true.
right? We normally shed people in our lives.
Right. Yeah, people are not there for, not everyone's there to be there all the time.
No, very
Right.
few are actually.
Yeah, right. It's all
Yeah,
about moving forward and meeting new people. And that's why it's important to get out of the house, I think, and
agreed.
not be stuck just connecting with people on social media. And so my goal is to work with grandmothers, women 50 and older. I'm in my
Mhm.
70s. So we have a tendency of not getting out that much of the house and and we're not necessarily on the internet, social media, not some of us aren't,
Agreed. Yeah,
just in front of the television, which is just, what that does to your brain and your consciousness and your belief in yourself. You're not going to believe much in yourself if you're only focusing on what you see on TV and how terrible the world is going on right now, or the
agreed.
drama in this program or the whatever. We don't take the time to reflect in ourselves so that we can, I say, remember who we are, to
Yeah,
spark that inner connection to our spirit, to remember who we are. And we came here to do something, and we need to remember that. And so that's what I'm all about, working with these women who may have forgotten who they are and bring that back, because
yeah.
there's so much potentially energy and wisdom and positive information for us to pass down.
Yeah, especially wisdom,
Yes.
right? That's the most important thing from any of our elders, right?
Yeah.
It's the wisdom to be passed down from generation to generation. And that's what we can't lose, which we used to get that from sitting around the family dinner table, and generations used to live together and stay together. And now with this society, it's so transit, right? We don't live in the same towns we grew up in. Kids like mine perfectly. They go to college and they stayed where they went to college, right? They didn't come back home.
Yeah.
And so we have to work a little harder with that wisdom and our connections. But I think what happened during the pandemic is we started to love staying home. And
Yeah.
now it's been 5 years and we're getting that itch of like, okay, I actually need community again. And I see a lot of communities out there, the online communities. I had one for 10 years and I closed mine down
Hmm.
because I feel like there's something else about to spring up that we need. And it's really connection with one another, right? I've gone back to donating a lot of time to nonprofits and working in different causes. And one of the things I just picked up is doing a lot of fractional work for nonprofits. Again, my background was a not-for-profit executive work because I want to be a part of the solutions and other causes and great things that are happening in the world, right? I want to hear people's ideas and
Yeah.
see what's going on. That's part of my work is, helping people build these businesses, but it's
Hmm.
also because there's great ideas out there and people don't know how to bring them forward.
Right.
All right.
Right.
And there's some good stuff happening around the world right now. So with your question, just asking or letting grandmothers know, look for volunteer opportunities, even if it's
Mm.
like just watering plants in your town or reading books at the library to younger generations or volunteering at a grade school or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever makes your heart sing, right? It could be anything. It could be baking, it could be cooking. It's like so many things or so much wisdom brought down and also through culture, right? And teaching culture to the generation below you,
Yes.
right? It was so interesting. I had this very interesting conversation with one of my children this week, and um, I called her an American. I was like, well, you're actually an American. I was like,
Hmm.
once ketchup hits the table, you are no longer considered Italian. Right? So, but it was just the generational change.
Uh-huh.
When I grew up, we literally sat and had formal dinner on China every single night. We got dressed, right?
Mm,
But my father even had something more formal. Like, so each time, and I didn't do that with my family at all,
mm-hmm.
right? So, it's just that, tradition is lost along the way.
Yes,
And
it
even
is.
family recipes, like so much is lost along the way, but I think it's even more now,
I agree.
because we're not as close. So,
Right.
being an elder, a grandmother, like it's how can we um, reserve some of this? It's important. It's
It is
really
important.
important. I was having a conversation yesterday with my sister. I think it was with my sister. And we were talking about all of our pictures being on digital, right? So I
Exactly.
have my kids' pictures are printed, right? Because we didn't have digital cameras yet.
Right.
But there's a certain decade that it's just lost. And I said, what do we do? And she goes, all of my wedding pictures, everyone that was there, she goes, it's on a thumb drive,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she didn't even have kids. And she's like, that's just going to be tossed away one day. Like the
Mm-hmm.
pictures are like gone where we could go back and say, well, who is this? And who is this? And remember this, right? I have so many pictures and we probably take so many more pictures today,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because of the cameras, but
Right.
the, but no one else really gets to see them or share them or like, what do we do with them?
Right. Remember when people used to take trips and come back with their slides and then gather everyone
Yeah.
else and tell you about, now you don't hear about anybody's trips. You don't see the pictures. It's like, oh yeah, I had a good time. And that's
Yeah.
it.
It's
I
very
see two
different.
or three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I thought about that as well. I just got married in July. And
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
and the photographers were great. They probably took 500 pictures. And now, and they're still in the computer. I haven't put the book together. I've
See?
gotten
Yeah.
one together. I haven't gotten it printed yet, but I am going to do that because you're right. I want to continue to be able to look at that and remember that day and who was there and how special it was. And that's something we definitely all need to bring back. That's also another thing that we can do with our grandchildren is to take some of those pictures and make a picture
Yeah.
book. I've done that for my grandchildren on their birthdays, but not made a book, but sent them videos and pictures of themselves growing up. But to put it in a picture book is another great step.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I had recently found the old slide carousels
Hmm.
from my parents before they had me, before they had children. So back, my parents had been together since they were 14. So their
Uh-huh.
pictures went all the way back. And now um, they're in their late 80s and my mother has dementia, but we were showing the pictures like, what is this? Like, I've never even seen this. What is this? What is this? Right. And watching them come back to life with the old
Right.
pictures was beautiful. Yeah,
Yes.
it's just beautiful. I like that my phone reminds me each day of here are your memories from whenever,
Hmm.
right? They pull them.
Years ago,
And
yeah.
I send mine to my kids when my kids are in them.
Uh-huh.
Like I'll be like, "Oh, do you remember this?" So they can remember, but it's very different. When I'm gone, my phone goes with me. So where do all those pictures go? I don't know. Right? So
Right, right. So we've gotten into talk a little bit about how we can share our wisdom. What else would you like to share for our audience today?
I think the most important is, don't give up on your dreams. I don't care how old you are, right? And then you can bring whatever passion is to reality, right? To um for me it's bringing people to start businesses, right? No matter how small they are. People are always like a business. I don't know a business, but if it's just you and you give your time and someone pays for it, that's a business.
Hmm.
Right? It could be counseling, it could be wisdom circles. I talk to a lot of w women now about running wisdom circles.
Describe what that is.
A wisdom circle could be any topic, but it's really just holding space for like-minded people,
Mm,
right?
okay.
For you, it could be, you know, older grandmothers, 70-year-olds, 65 and plus, whatever it is, right? And just
Right.
holding space and start bringing ideas of what we can do.
Right.
Sometimes it's just friendship. Sometimes it could be deep soul work. I do something called a soul circle, where it's more in-depth soul work and just talking about, our inhibitions or whatever comes up. It's just
Hmm.
holding space. A wisdom circle just is holding space, and you
Hmm.
can have themes. You really can do anything you want with it,
Mm.
right? You could even create a membership from that if someone wanted to. But, it's the wisdom, it's the deeper conversation
I'm gonna
in
ask,
person on
actually,
Zoom.
I'm actually gonna talk to you about that when we meet.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love the idea. I
yeah,
think the world is looking for it right now.
right. I agree. I launched my podcast, this new podcast, and a newsletter on Grandparents' Day, which was September 7th. And I included a segment that I saw on one of the TV morning shows about this grandmother's bench that is in Zimbabwe. The culture, I mean, the country is very, very low number of mental health professionals.
Okay.
Very, very, very. And so one gentleman who was a mental health professor saw the value of grandmothers talking to people. And he started this program where they have this community bench. And he's trained grandmothers to sit there and anyone can come talk to the grandmother. And
Oh,
that and it has spread even into this country. And they have put together a package to teach, to help it spread, the program of how to spread, because it's so powerful
yeah.
to have the wisdom, the unconditional love, the no judgment, to have someone that you can sit and talk to. I see that as beneficial, and I love to see that. I'm starting to put it in, they say you put your ideas out in words. That's me
Yep.
really make it. I want to see that type of thing in schools.
Yes, I agree.
And I don't want it to be all volunteer either. I want the grandmothers and grandfathers to feel they have their wisdom is worth being compensated, and
Yeah.
being there on a regular basis is not keeping them from some other way that they could be making some extra income. Not that it has to be, big,
Agreed.
but extra income that they may be able to take a trip that they've been planning and things like that. So yeah, I'm putting that out there because I can see the benefit. If we just imagine grandmothers in school and how much grandmothers' influence is on some of their grandchildren, they're gonna straighten up.
Yeah.
It's gonna make
Yeah.
a difference. Can you see
Yeah.
that?
My grandmother was a big part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't have grandchildren yet, but I expect to be a big part of my grandkids' life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. I actually believe that. Like it's supposed to be this way,
It is.
right?
Right.
You're supposed to help out the next generation.
Right. Right. Are you Italian? You mentioned that.
I am.
So I was just thinking about the family units and the culture. Are you familiar with the blue zones? You're not familiar with the blue zones? The blue zones was a study on longevity.
Okay.
And I can't think of the gentleman's name now who did the study he was working with. But there is a documentary on Netflix about it, how there's certain zones around the world where people live longer. Longevity is because of the culture, the family units that come together, they eat together. The seniors live in the homes. They're still active. They're walking, they're cooking, and they live into their hundreds, a larger percentage. In this country, Loma Linda,
Yeah.
California,
Hmm.
was one of those studies of the countries, and there were other in Italy and in Japan, around the world. But the one in this country was in Loma Linda University. It happened that I graduated from Loma Linda, my master's in public health, and because of the population of Seven-day Adventist people with no smoking, no alcohol, and mostly vegetarianism and very active lifestyle. So I was just thinking about the Italian culture of what you described with your family unit. I think that Italian culture has always been pretty tight
Right. Yes, we are.
family.
We're, yeah, very tight on family. My family was, that's what I see. And even the um, community and where I grew up, everyone was really tight.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So my parents had a core group of friends, and I still am in touch with all of those kids because we
Mm.
kind of grew up together.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, yeah.
Right.
I always thought it would be a fabulous idea to have like senior living, but not assisted living, right? So it could be from my age to 75, like when you don't need help, but
Mm-hmm.
you're old enough, right? Your kids are out,
Mm-hmm.
or you just start those grandma years to have a place to live in community with others, especially for people my age. There's a lot of single women, right, that could use community, right? But do like, even if it's a tiny house community or apartments or whatever that community looks like, but also to have like a daycare center there,
Right.
right? Where they're giving back time paid, right? But those kids are also learning from older individuals,
Yes.
right?
Beautiful.
So it becomes kind of this um, dichotomy of the older wisdom being passed down. So it's almost like foster grandparents and grandchildren.
Right. I like
Yeah.
that concept too. That's another thought because I I know that I've had connections with organization that works with in foster care aid for young girls who are aging out of foster care. And when kids are 18, they're out of the system.
Yeah.
And
Very difficult.
most kids are not ready to go anywhere at 18.
Agreed.
We're not in a secure one home or a couple of homes. A lot of them are bounced from home to home and home, and that's nothing to draw on to really give you the
Yeah.
security you need and the what you need to be successful. So that's a very important thing. And to have foster grandparents would be again another way. I mean, just community grandparents. Like
Yeah.
when I grew up, we knew everybody in on the street and the blocks over. We walked to school, and I mean, I'm still in contact with some of those people. And yeah, family. My grandmother lived down the street, and we were much more closer. Now that we people move away from each other and everyone's so busy, it's harder, but it's still important in all cultures. All cultures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Hopefully. I
having me.
feel like it will all come back, but it'll just,
It's going to come back because efforts of like persons like you
yeah.
and me who are going to bring it to um, people's attention
Yeah.
and giving them an outlet and assistance like you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. Tell us more. What else?
Oh, well, I'll talk a little bit about some of my work is really helping other people bring their gifts to the world, which is what I've talked about. But we also have the Soul Professional Business School, which is helping people that don't have those business educations learn how to bring their business. Like, how do you create a mission statement, a vision statement, your packages, your pricing, your marketing, your branding. Because so many times I feel like people have a great idea and they just don't know how to get it out there. So
Yes.
that is one of the things that we offer. And my community has free networking, but I also teach a free masterclass every single month. And then those free business classes are also put on YouTube. So if people are just curious on how to do things, they can go to YouTube for free and see all my classes there. And start to get information. I also have a free workbook that people can download on finding their purpose or their passion and how to bring it to life. So
That's
there's lots of free stuff out there because I really want to encourage people to go ahead. And it doesn't have to be big. I think that's the most important thing. It does not have to be this huge company and getting your own LLC and all of this. It can just be a small craft or a small coaching or consulting or wisdom circles or whatever it looks like, right? It could be anything. There are no rules. And I think that's the most important thing. There are no rules. You can create whatever you want in this world.
Just like you said earlier, you might have said it before we started recording, but whatever makes your heart sing.
Yes.
That's your passion. That's what you want to be able to do,
Yeah.
right? When you're in other videos, what would you do after day after you hit the lottery? If you hit the lottery, what would you still be doing, right? That's what we're saying. You can use those things. It's all about joy. That's basically what I say.
Absolutely.
It's all
Yes.
about joy, but getting paid for what you enjoy doing. So
Yeah.
it's not work. It's a passion. So professional. It's passionate.
Yes. Yeah. It's about purpose and, like you said, joy. What brings you joy in life? And it has to feel good in your body.
Yes.
Like if you don't want to do it, or you'd stop if you hit the lottery,
Yeah.
that's not bringing you joy,
Right, right,
right?
right.
You might not mind it, but that's not joy. Joy
Yes,
is when you would do it anyway.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Tell us about your books.
Oh, so I have three books. This is a trilogy. It's called the Ultimate Guide Trilogy, and the first one's called the Ultimate Guide to Building a Soul-Aligned Business. So that's the first part of getting the idea and how you create it. The second one is called the Ultimate Guide to Becoming a Soul Professional. That's actually about scaling. So once you have the idea and you've built the business, how do you get to that next level so it's a sustainable income? And in that book, I talk a lot about the failures I made along the way.
Mm,
And the third one is called The Ultimate Guide to Leaving Your Legacy. And that is really about doing it with intention because we are all leaving a legacy. If you
mm,
like it or not, you are leaving a legacy in this world. So if you create it in a way that when you pass that you're really proud of the work that you've done in the world, and it could be, being a lunch lady or volunteering, or it doesn't really matter. It's not about building this huge brand or business. It's
mm-hmm.
about the people that you impacted along the way, right?
Yes,
And that's what we really want to collect. If it's 10 people or 1,000 people or 10,000 people, whatever it is, those are the people that remember your name and how your name and legacy live on.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Okay, before you go, let's talk a little bit about Harriet Tubman. This is all who I am.
Yeah.
And you read some of my book. Thank you very
I
much.
read the whole book.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, And it was interesting because I had visited my sister and her new husband years ago down in Cincinnati, and they took me to the Underground Railroad Museum.
Yes, I'm
And that
from
was actually
Dayton.
the first time I heard about it.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
when I was reading this book, and I was like, I know exactly this because I went to the museum and learned it all. But yeah, I loved her courage, her bravery, her compassion for others. And even when she was helping people, through and really what I do, the strategy behind how it's all going to happen. And I was like, wow, each time she could have gotten caught again. Each time she went to help someone else, she
Mm-hmm.
came out of Canada to come back down to make this whole railroad work. And it really took a whole community,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone had to keep the secret.
Yes.
Right? That's what is amazing to me. Um, and what a woman that, you know, definitely a leader, right?
Yes.
A servant to the world. She had a passion and something that she recognized very young, and she was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna help. And that was and bravery, right? Just
Yes.
the bravery it took to
Right.
do that. Just incredible. So yeah, and I, an icon for holding your vision,
Mm-hmm.
right? Holding that bigger vision. Because
Yes,
at no point was she probably counting how many people. She was just like, I got to do what I got to do today,
exactly.
right? No matter, and in the end, it was so overwhelming, right? And how well she's known today. But that's not what she was looking for. That's what happened because she was so courageous and took the action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the legacy, leaving the legacy.
That's legacy. Absolutely. That is legacy.
Right. By doing what you're passionate about doing. That's all she was doing. She was doing
Yeah.
her heart told her she's got to help other people. And
Yeah.
we admire that. We admire that. Yes,
Yeah.
so much.
Just incredible. So I thank you for actually writing the book and putting her life and legacy out there as well, so we can all learn more.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, my new book is Get on Board the New Underground Railroad. And we're using Harriet Tubman's spirit for us to move into love and actions with the S on the end because from what we learned from her, we got to put it in action now. Like
Yeah.
you mentioned, Underground Railroad was people coming together, a community of people that worked, and they did it in secret and they did it in very organized manner and very successful at what they were doing because they did it in love. It was a powerful system that was using that positive energy to make differences for people's lives. And so that's
Yeah.
what we need to pull out today. And so we're going to be
Yeah.
talking more about that as this is my vision that you're going to help me achieve.
I love it. I love it. I
Great.
love it. You are
Thank,
doing amazing things in the world.
thank you. Thank you. You are too. So that's why we are brought together and I appreciate it. So I appreciate you being here today. It's been a great conversation, and I know that we're going to hear from you some more as I make sure that people are turned to you. I'm going to be listing your emails and your website and everything will be here for people to find you. And
Thank
best
you.
best of luck with everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today.
You're welcome. Great to have you here.